Good morning, students. Hope you might have watched the last video. So in continuation with that of the last video, let us see here the distinction between the tetrahedral and the octahedral voids. So you can see here on the screen, distinction between tetrahedral and octahedral voids. Tetrahedral voids, as I showed you in the last video, each tetrahedral void is surrounded by 4 spheres. That's why the coordination number is equal to 4 in case of tetrahedral voids. Whereas in octahedral voids, each octahedral void is surrounded by 6 spheres, and hence its coordination number is equal to 6. Right? So that is the difference. Each tetrahedral void is surrounded by 4 spheres, hence its coordination number is equal to 4, and each octahedral void is surrounded by 6 spheres, hence its coordination number equals 6. The second difference is number of tetrahedral voids that are generated is double the number of spheres in the packing. This I showed you in the last video there, and I told you that if the total number of closed pack structures is equal to n there, then the number of tetrahedral voids that will be generated is equal to 2n. And the number of octahedral voids that is equal to the number of spheres in the packing. That means if I take n number of closed pack structures, then the number of octahedral voids generated is equal to the number of spheres in the packing. If I take that as n, the number of octahedral voids generated is also equal to that of n. So this is the distinction between tetrahedral and octahedral voids there. Let us now go to the formulas that are used. This also I had dealt with in the last video, and just I'm showing you the formulas that you will be using for the calculation of the formula of a compound. So we read about the contribution by a particle on the corner of a unit cell is equal to 1/8. Remember this in your mind. That is, in primitive cubic unit cell, I told you contribution by a particle on the corner of a unit cell is equal to 1/8, because one unit cell shares 1/8 part of that of the atom there. Second formula is, which I told you, in face-centered cubic unit cell, the contribution by a particle on the face of a unit cell is equal to 1/2. The next, contribution by a particle within the body of a unit cell. This I told you in body-centered cubic unit cell, that the contribution by a particle within the body of a unit cell is equal to 1. Then contribution by a particle on the edge of a unit cell. This is a new formula which I introduced here. Contribution by a particle on the edge of a unit cell is equal to 1/4. There are 12 edges in a cube. So contribution by a particle on the edge of a unit cell is equal to 1/4. And keeping these in mind, we can calculate the ratio of number of particles A and B present per unit cell. That gives the formula of the compound formed between A and B. Let us use these formulas for calculation of the formula of a compound. I have given you one question. You can see on the screen there. The question number 1, the question is, a compound is formed by 2 elements, X and Y. It is a combination of X and Y. Atoms of the element Y as anions make CCP, and those of the element X as cations occupy all the octahedral voids. So what is the formula of the compound? Here lies the answer in the question only. Read the question carefully. The question is, a compound is formed by the 2 elements, combination of 2 elements X and Y. So see here, since atoms of the element Y as anions are making CCP arrangement, CCP structure there. So I told you in the previous lecture there that if the number of closed pack structures is equal to n there, then here atoms of the element Y as anions are making CCP structure. So since the atoms of element Y make CCP arrangement, let that be equal to n, right? And atoms of the elements X occupy all the octahedral voids. There I told you if the number of closed pack structures is equal to n there, then the number of octahedral voids that are generated is also equal to n. So here, since X is occupying all the octahedral voids, its value is also equal to n there. So you can see here, you can find the ratio X is to Y is proportional to n is to 1, which is equal to 1 is to 1 there. So the formula of the compound comes out to be XY. This is the explanation and the answer is XY. That is the first question which I had dealt with. The second question which I am dealing with is, you see the question, it's there on the screen. Atoms of element B forms HCP lattice and those of the element A occupy 2/3 of tetrahedral voids. What is the formula formed? What is the formula of the compound formed by the elements A and B? That is the question. So you see here, since atoms of element B forms HCP lattice, right? Since atoms of element B forms HCP lattice, let that be equal to capital N, right? And A occupies 2/3 of tetrahedral voids. So since those are the atoms of element A is occupying 2/3 of tetrahedral voids. Remember in your mind the previous video which I told you, if the number of closed pack structures is equal to n, then the number of tetrahedral voids that are generated is equal to 2n there. That was what I said. So here, since atoms of element A occupies 2/3 of tetrahedral voids there, 2/3 of tetrahedral void, that is 2 by 3 into 2n. So A is equal to 2 by 3 into 2n, which is equal to 4 by 3n, right? So the ratio of A is to B, will be equal to 4n by 3 is to n, which is equal to 4 is to 3. Means A value is equal to 4 and B value comes out to be 3. Therefore, the formula of the compound becomes A4B3. So this is how you will calculate the formula of the compound, and more assignment I had given you. After I show you one of the slides here, then we'll be going for the other assignment questions there. First, let us see here, locating tetrahedral and octahedral voids there. Time and again I'm telling you that if the number of closed pack structures are equal to n there, number of closed pack structures I'm saying it is equal to n, then number of octahedral voids that are generated is also equal to n, and number of tetrahedral voids will be double, that is it will be equal to 2n there. So let us locate the tetrahedral and octahedral voids in closed pack structures there. Let us consider here CCP or FCC structures to locate these voids there. First, let us locate the tetrahedral voids there. So we'll consider a unit cell of CCP, or CCP stands for cubic closed pack structure, or FCC lattice we are considering. See, if you look at this figure, if you are looking at this figure, this is a CCP arrangement in which this unit cell consists of 8 small cubes are present here. This unit cell of CCP comprises of 8 small cubes. And you see in the second picture, if you see the geometry, when I join the points of this cube, it results in the formation of a tetrahedron is formed. It results in giving you one tetrahedral void. So here in this diagram, it is depicting 8 tetrahedral voids per unit cell of CCP structure. Why? Because this CCP structure consists of 8 small cubes there. So since it consists of 8 small cubes, each small cube has atoms at alternate corners, and in all, each small cube has 4 atoms, and when joined to each other, they result in the formation of a regular tetrahedron there. So you can see in this diagram, a regular tetrahedron has been generated. Thus, there is one tetrahedral void in each small cube and 8 tetrahedral voids in total. We know that in CCP arrangement or FCC arrangement, number of atoms that are present per unit cell is equal to 4 there. Right? So the number of tetrahedral voids that will be generated will be equal to double the number of it. So here it results in giving you 8 tetrahedral voids. So locating tetrahedral voids in CCP or FCC structure, in this way we can locate the tetrahedral voids. Now let us see how to locate an octahedral void there. So here again we'll consider the FCC or CCP lattice. We are considering this FCC or CCP lattice. The unit cell has one octahedral void at the body. You can see in this figure, location of octahedral void. This is CCP arrangement or FCC lattice which we are taking, cubic unit cell. In the body, you can see location of octahedral void at the body center of the cube. Here this is resulting in giving you an octahedron there. So at the body center, you can see one octahedron is being generated. Whereas at the center of each edge, only one such void is shown here. You can see at the center of each edge, a cube has 12 edges there. So at the center of each edge, one octahedral void is formed, and the contribution by a particle on the edge is equal to 1 by 4. So there are 12 edges. 1 by 4 into 12 gives you 3 atoms. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and as a result, it results in giving you 4 octahedral voids there. So you see in CCP structure, octahedral void is present at the body center of the cube. That is 1 octahedral void is present at the body center, and 12 octahedral voids located at each edge and shared between 4 unit cells results in giving you 12 into 1 by 4 equals to 3 octahedral voids. So the total number of octahedral voids is equal to 3 plus 1, that is equal to 4. Thus we know that in CCP structure, each unit cell has 4 atoms and the same number of octahedral voids will be generated there. So the number of octahedral voids generated is equal to 4. Thus we can locate both the tetrahedral as well as the octahedral voids there. I hope I am clear with the locating of tetrahedral as well as octahedral voids. Let us come now to the assignment questions. I'll be discussing the assignment questions and you will be doing these assignment copies in your notebook there. And if you have any doubt, you can contact me. I'm there to help you. Look at the first question. Question is, a compound formed by elements A and B has a cubic structure in which A atoms are at the corners of the cube and B atoms are at the face centers. Derive the formula of the compound. So to solve this, first you read a compound. It is formed by combination of how many elements? It is formed by combination of 2 elements, A and B, right? So it is a cubic structure in which A atoms are at the corners of the cube. I showed you in the first slide there that if A atoms are at the corners of the cube, the contribution at the corner is equal to 1 by 8, right? So A atoms are at the corners of the cube. So 1 by 8 into 8 corners are there. So 1 by 8 into 8 results in giving you 1. So A value is here equal to 1 and B atoms are at the face centers. There I showed you the contribution on the face is equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 part of it, of the atom, belongs to 1 unit cell there. Since there are 6 faces, so 6 into 1 by 2 is equal to 3. So B atoms are at the face centers. So the value of B here becomes equal to 3. 3, right? So A value is 1, B value is 3. So the formula of the compound comes out to be AB3. Look at the answer. First answer is AB3. So that is how you'll write and then derive the formula. Look at my second question. It is a cubic solid is made up of two elements X and Y. Atoms Y are present at the corners of the cube and atoms X at the body center. What is the formula of the compound? So here first you see cubic solid. It is made up of a combination of two elements X and Y, right? Atoms Y are present at the corners of the cube. Corners of the cube, the contribution is 1 by 8. And since 8 corners are there, 8 into 1 by 8 is 1. Right? The value of Y comes out to be 1. And atoms X at the body center. I told you at body center only one constituent particle is present at its body that is being fully shared by it. So here it is saying X atoms are present at the body center. So the value of X is here equal to 1. So X is equal to 1. Y's value is also equal to 1. So the formula of the compound comes out to be XY. Check the answer. Yes, it is XY. Correct. Let us go with the third question. The third question is an ionic compound made up of atoms A and B has a FCC arrangement in which A atoms are at the corners and B atoms are at the face center. But look at the question that is followed by, if one of the atom is missing from the corner, what is the formula of the compound? If this part was missing, we would have taken A atoms are at the corners, means the contribution is 8 into 1 by 8, that it should have come 1. And B atoms are at the face center. The contribution of face center is 1 by 2 and 6 faces are there. So 1 by 2 into 6 comes out to be 3. So B atoms are face center. The value of B comes out to be 3. But here you have to see the question that is being followed by. It is if one of the atom is missing from the corner, means out of 8 only 7 atoms are present. So you cannot take the contribution as 8 here, rather you will take it as 7. 7 particles are present and the contribution is into 1 by 8. So 7 into 1 by 8 gives you the value there of A atoms there as 7 by 8 and B atoms has 3. So 7 by 8, A is to B equals to 7 by, is proportional to 7 by 8 is to 3. So cross multiply that, 8 into 3 becomes 24. So the formula of the compound A value is having 7 and B value is having here as 24. So the formula of the compound comes out to be A7B24. Look at the answer, right? So it comes out to be A7B24. Now look at the fourth question. Question is, a compound is made up of elements A and B that crystallizes in cubic structure. Atoms A are present at the corners as well as face centers, whereas atoms B are present on the edge center as well as body center. What is the formula of the compound? Firstly, you see the elements. Elements here are A and B and is crystallizing in cubic structure. Then you'll write, since atoms A are present at the corners as well as face center. So you'll write the contribution 8 into 1 by 8 plus 6 into 1 by 2. So it comes out to be 8 into 1 by 8 is 1 plus 6 into 1 by 2 is equal to 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Correct? So A atom's value you are getting here as 4. And since B atoms are present on the edge center as well as body center. So edge center, there are 12 edges. 12 into the contribution at the edge is 1 by 4. So 12 into 1 by 4, the value is 3 plus 1 atom at its body center. So 3 plus 1 comes out to be 4. So the B value is also here equal to 4. A value is 4, B value is 4, 4 is to 1. You need to simplify the formula there. So to simplify, you will cut and write the ratio there as 1 is to 1. So instead of having the formula A4, B4, you will write the formula there as AB. So check the answer. Fourth answer is AB. Correct. Now look at the fifth question. The fifth question stands here. Question is, if three elements P, Q and R crystallize in a cubic solid lattice with P atoms at the corner, Q atoms at the cube center and R atoms at the center of the faces of the cube, write the formula of the compound. So here you see there are three elements that are present. A combination of three elements will result in giving you the formula. So P, Q and R, combination of three elements, in which since P atoms are present at the corner, 8 corner constituent particles are present and its contribution is 1 by 8. So 8 into 1 by 8 gives you the value of 1. So P value is 1 here. Correct? Look at the Q. Since Q atoms are at the cube center, value is equal to 1. So Q's value is also equal to 1, and R atoms at the center of the faces of the cube. A cube has 6 faces, so 6 into 1 by 2 contribution gives you the value of R as 3. So P value is 1, Q value is 1, R value is 3. The formula comes out to be PQR3. So that is the answer. Look at the fifth answer. Answer is PQR3. That's how you will calculate the formulas of the compounds there. Look at the sixth question. It is in corundum. Corundum is an ore of aluminium. In corundum, oxide ions are arranged in HCP, hexagonal close packing, and aluminium ions occupy 2/3 of octahedral voids. What is the formula of corundum? So you need to calculate here the formula of corundum, taking into account aluminium ions and oxide ions. So here you see, since oxide ions are arranged in HCP arrangement there, HCP structure, let that value be equal to N, capital N, and aluminium ions occupy 2/3 of octahedral voids. So number of octahedral voids that are generated is equal to the same value, that is N. N into 2 by 3. Since the value of octahedral voids, aluminium ions occupy 2/3 of octahedral voids. So N into 2 by 3. Value comes out to be 2N by 3. So Al is to O. The ratio of aluminium is to oxide is proportional to 2 by 3 N is to N. N gets cancelled and the value of Al comes out to be 2 and the value of oxide ion cross multiply. Oxide ions comes out to be 3. So the formula of the compound is Al2O3. Look at the answer. The answer is Al2O3. That's how you will answer tactfully. Look at the seventh question and the last part. It is in a solid. Oxide ions are arranged in CCP. 1/6 of tetrahedral voids are occupied by the cations A, while 1/3 of octahedral voids are occupied by cations B. What is the formula of the compound? So to answer this, in a solid, you see here we are taking A, cations B. 2 cations are there and 1 anion, that is oxide ion. So ABO, 3 you need to take 2 cations and 1 anion, that is oxide ions. So oxide ions, since they are arranged in CCP, let its value be equal to N. 1/6 of tetrahedral voids are occupied by cations A. I said the number of tetrahedral voids that are generated is equal to double the number of close packed structures present, that is 2n into 1/6. So 2n by 6 gives you the value 1/3n. So the value of the cation A is equal to 1/3n, while 1/3 of octahedral voids are occupied by cations B. So number of octahedral voids that are generated is also equal to n there. So since 1/3 of octahedral voids are occupied by cations B, 1/3 into n. So the value of B is also equal to 1/3 into n, right? And the oxide ions are arranged in CCP. So O is value is equal to N there. So you see here the ratio which we get of A is to B is to O. A is 1/3n, B is also 1/3n, and O is here equal to N. Cancel all the n's and cross multiply 3 with that of oxide ions there. So the value of A comes out to be 1, the value of B also comes out to be 1, and the value of O, oxide ions, comes out to be 3. And the formula of the compound, thus it is AbO3. This is the formula of the compound, AbO3. I end up here, children, and we have finished with this part of the assignment. You will do this in your assignment copy, and we'll start with the packing efficiency in the next video. Till then, thank you. Bye.